All right, so let's go into the UC tag information. Many of you mentioned that this was something that you looked at when you did research on the Transfer Center website. So let's go ahead and go into this. So on the Transfer Center page, you would come under Special Programs and then go down to the Transfer Admission Guarantees or tag. So this is the tag page. And it has all been updated for students who are going to tag for fall of 2023. So you tag 1 year prior to transfer. These are the 6 campuses that participate in the tag, and you can tag to 1 campus. So if you tag to UC Davis, you can still apply to UC Berkeley, UCLA, and UC San Diego, which are the 3 UCs that do not participate in the tag program. If you get into one of those campuses, you can tell Davis, thanks so much, but I'm going to go to one of these campuses. That's not a problem. Just because you tag to a specific campus does not mean that you are forever tied to that campus, okay? So the criteria for the tag is higher than regular admissions. So to tag to UC Davis, you need to have a 3.2 overall GPA, unless you are tagging to a major in the College of Engineering, then it's higher. But for regular admissions, for most majors at UC Davis, it's a 2.8. So it is higher criteria. They can't have it open for everybody because they can't let everybody in. So they have to create some type of criteria. And so let's go ahead and look at the resources that are available here. So we do offer workshops. So if you think you're going to tag this year, then definitely see the workshop schedule and come to one of those as well. The tag is part of the UC Transfer Admission Planner. So if you are UC bound, I highly recommend that you fill out what's called the TAP. The TAP is tied to the tag as well as to the application. So you can put in your coursework once with your grades, and then that's how you tag. And then you can, when you're doing the UC application, it will say, do you have a TAP account? And you'll say yes, and then it'll say, well, log in, and then it pulls your information over from the TAP into the application. So fill out the TAP if you're UC bound. The tag matrix is really helpful. So let's make this bigger and get myself as far out of the way. I'll put myself over here. So this is for 23-24. The tag criteria can change every year. So if you're not going to be applying for a tag for 2 years, you can look at this. It typically doesn't change that much. And UC is really good about telling us if they're going to make a drastic change. They give us usually a year to 2 years in advance notice. And a lot of times they'll put it in tag or into assist. So pay attention to that, but just know that what's here now could change 2 years from now, okay? All right, so you have to be considered a California Community College transfer student who's completed at least 30 UC semester units at one or more California Community College. So that has to be done, like if you were tagging this year, you have to have that done by the end of spring, okay? And then it's a little bit tricky, but you have to have 30 semester units completed that are UC transferable from anywhere at the time that you tag. But you have to meet the definition of a California Community College student. So you can't be a high school student. You can't have been at the CSU and you try to tag. You can't have been out of state and try to tag. So that's where this rule comes from. And then the last school you've attended in a regular session has to have been a California Community College, because this is tags are only available to California Community College students. And then it's walking you through the information here. So let's look at some of this. So I mentioned Davis, and so that gives you questions going across the top and then answers below for each of the campuses, okay? So here's the contact information. So that's really helpful. It's telling you when they accept tags. It's telling you if the major is guaranteed, what's excluded. So there are some majors like computer science. You can't tag computer science at any of the schools except Santa Cruz. You can do computer science in and gaming, I think. So So you can see here, computer science is not available for tag, but the computer science and gaming is available for tag. Then it goes into like, when does math and English have to be done? So for Davis, you have to have both UC English courses done by the end of fall, and math also has to be done by the end of fall. So you couldn't be taking one of those classes in spring of 23, okay? And so the matrix is really helpful. Then you can go in by campus. So you can go into Davis, and SRJC really puts a lot into our tag information. I don't think there's one other campus that does it like we do. So this will take you to the Davis tag website. It's telling you when you write the tag, you still have to apply, okay? So just because you tag doesn't mean that you don't have to do the UC application. You still have to do the UC application, because if you end up falling out of the tag criteria, you want to be going through the regular admissions process. Your tag must match your UC application major. You can't tag into history and then apply under psych, okay? Your tag will be, thrown out because your majors have to match. Telling you it's not available for computer science or data science. And then here's the eligibility criteria that you can read through. And then the criteria by major. So if you are a psych major, that's in the College of Letters and Sciences, you need a 3.2. And these are the majors that are selective, meaning that they have more criteria that you have to meet, and one of those is psych. Okay, so we'll look at the psych major. Just to point out that all of the colleges are a 3.2 GPA, except for the College of Engineering, you need a 3.5. Then down here, we have the selective majors tag requirements. So if we look at psychology, you'll see here, it requires that you have a 3.2, and you have to complete the following courses and maintain a 2.9 for the entire group of courses. So we list what the UC Davis courses are and what the equivalents are at SRJC. So you need Psych 1A, Math 15 or 9. Most students take Bio 10, 12, or 16 along with Anthro 1, okay? And so having those classes done, in progress, or planned. So you don't have to have all the courses completed at the time of tag, but what you do have done has to have a 2.9 GPA. So if you've taken Psych 1A and Bio 10 and you got 2 Cs, you don't meet the criteria, okay? And so you have to do the research to make sure that you've met the criteria for the tag. All right, let's go back to the main page. And so you could go in and look at another campus. So like Santa Barbara, they do things a little bit different. You need a 3.4 for Santa Barbara is the GPA minimum, but they allow you to use your fall grades to get that GPA. So as long as by the end of fall of 2022, you have a 3.4, you're fine. If you're going in with, a 3.3, then it's possible to get that 3.4. If you're at a 2.8, you're not going to get to a 3.4 by the end of fall. So you really want to do the research, make sure that you're, tagging to the right campus, that you're meeting the criteria. UC Santa Cruz, you need a 3.0 to tag. So where does it say that? Somewhere. Right here, you have to have at least a 3.0. That's also by the end of fall, okay? So each campus has their own requirements. They have their own list of selective majors. So you can see Santa Cruz has the most. Santa Barbara hardly has any selective majors. They have 4, so biological sciences, econ, math, and physics. Any of the other majors, as long as you've met the criteria, then you're fine, okay? So the tag is a great program, and if you qualify, I highly recommend you go through the process. You're guaranteed that admission spot. To tag is free, but you still have to apply, so that's $70, and that's something to think about. You could always tag and then decide, well, I'm not going to apply. Most people don't do that, but it just makes sense if you meet the criteria to have that guaranteed spot in the UC system. So if you have any specific questions about the tag, let me know and I'm more than happy to answer them for you.